How do you elicit requirements at the start of a project, and then how do you manage them throughout the delivery of that project is a question slash comment that came up to me against one of my last videos. So I'm going to break it down here for project managers and business analysts who need to know. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go through the current state process and you're going to analyze that. You're going to look at the software system that your subject matter experts are using. You're going to look at the processes, any standard operating procedures, any flow charts, process maps, whatever you call them, to see what's going on. You're then going to have either one-on-one interviews or workshops with these stakeholders to understand how they actually go through the process. What you're going to be looking for are pain points or parts of the process that are undocumented that actually show you what happens when they're doing, I'll call it manual workarounds. And this is going to give you a good baseline of what the business requirements are. You're then going to take these requirements and meet with technical folk, whether it's solution architects or developers, anyone who is responsible for supporting and enabling these business processes from a technology perspective, and you're going to ask them what they do. Because sometimes if you need to know about batch jobs or APIs, this is a version of technical requirements, and these people will share some of the insight. Once you have a combination of business and technology requirements, that in essence becomes your requirements baseline, and you want to make sure that all your requirements are getting documented as declarative statements in your requirements traceability matrix. Once you then move into actually delivering the project, and before you go there, make sure that the business are signing off your requirements because they are their requirements. But once you have that, you then go through the project. And the first thing that is going to happen is when you go through a design phase, the person or the persons responsible for coming up with your solution design, they have to trace that actually all of their requirements, all of your requirements have been met in their design. If there's any gaps, these will have to be addressed through risk and issue management with your project manager. All right? But ultimately, this is the first checkpoint. The next checkpoint is when you get into a build status, you want to be having some showcases, and I've had arguments with people about Agile this and Waterfall that, but one of the best things that Agile does is it has the showcase and the retro, which is you get to show some of your build and you get to prove that the requirements that were requested by the business that have been met allegedly by the solution design have then actually been built. So you're not leaving anything behind and nothing is forgotten. The last step of this is that when you go into testing of your solution, you have to make sure that the design, the build, and how you're testing it all marry up to the business requirements. And this is where the intent of a business requirement is important, as well as its expected outcome from a business objectives perspective. This is a super high level view. If you have any questions, comment them below, and remember to follow.